Welcome to this week's episode of the CD Sport Podcast with me, Kerry Davis. Joining us today, we have got the 2017 Australian Swivel Skis champion, Alisha Stewart. How are you doing, Alisha?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm not too bad. I appreciate you giving up your Saturday afternoon to talk to me. This Saturday afternoon? Yeah, Saturday afternoon with you now?
Yeah. Saturday.
Yeah, so what have you been up to? Have you been out on the water today?
Yes, I went to the cable park and I was wakeboarding out there pretty much all morning and a bit of the afternoon.
Yeah. So when you say wakeboard, you getting pulled by the boat or are you like just on the...
No, you're getting pulled by a cable, so it's different. And then you have kickers in the water where you like flip off the kickers and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. I've seen on your Instagram, you've been doing a lot of flips recently, haven't you, on the old ramps?
Yeah.
What are they called? Ramps, yeah. Speed.
Yeah, ramps. I just recently learned some flips, so I've been going out lots and learning some different flips, which is fun.
Yeah. So your profession obviously is so a swivel. Do you want to explain like what a swivel skiing is? It's like a dance routine, kind of like a dance routine, isn't it? On the skis.
Yeah, it is pretty much like a dance routine on a ski. You just have like a single ski with a binding on it that spins 360 degrees, and you can just do all different tricks. When you're learning, you put the pin in and you're only on 180, so it only spins half the way. But when you start to get better, you take out the pin and you got the whole 360, and then you can be throwing like 720s and 1080s and so on.
It must take years of practice, that. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I started swivel skiing when I was about 10 years old. So I'm 23 now. So it's a few years that I've had doing swivel skiing.
23 years old, and you've accomplished so much already. Like you've obviously the 2017 champion. You're the first place in the Naughty Girl competitions. Naughty Girl, is it? Naughty Girl?
Yep, Naughty
Girl. The Flawn Bit competitions, the Twin Lake Corn Fest. You've traveled the world doing this. You've been in Dubai, you've lived in Canada, you've traveled to China several times, you've lived in the USA, and now you're living the dream in the Gold Coast. Because you're actually from Melbourne, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm from Melbourne.
So in the Gold Coast, you're working in the SeaWorld shows? Is that right?
Yeah, I'm working at SeaWorld doing 2 shows a day for 5 days a week.
5 days. So you off Saturday, Sundays, or do you work?
Friday, Saturdays.
Oh, yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, they're usually my normal days off.
Yeah. Because the people who don't know, like my British listeners, like SeaWorld's massive in Australia, isn't it? It's
Yeah, it's a pretty big show to be a part of. It's pretty well known in the ski show industry as well. Everyone loves SeaWorld and wants to be working at SeaWorld.
Wants to be part of it, yeah. So how do you get the opportunity to, live and work up there then?
Yeah, I'm pretty thankful for the opportunity. It's been like a dream of mine to work up here. I've watched my aunties and uncles ski here. So I've looked at them and looked up to them and thought that's what I want to do. And so awesome to be able to say I'm doing it now.
That's awesome. So how did you get the job up there? Was it because your resume as a professional skier, what you've accomplished so far, or was it just you applied for it and you got it? How did you get it?
Yeah, I got it when COVID hit. Like one of the girls didn't want to come back because I think she enjoyed being home again. So then they were looking for a skier and I just applied again and then managed to get the job, which was awesome. Because like these days, like it's hard to get a new job because of COVID. Like everyone seems to be losing their jobs. So for me to gain my dream job in these times was pretty awesome.
Yeah. So you got it during COVID?
Yeah, so I got it in June, and then I moved up here, like, I think late June.
Oh, yeah. Because when I was living in Melbourne, I think you were living in the States then, were you? I came to your birthday party, and then I didn't see you for a long time after. Were you in the States or Canada living?
Yeah, I was in America. I would go from America to Australia again. So from May to September would be my Bartlett season. So I would move over there and ski at the Tommy Bartlett show. And then I would come home after the Tommy Bartlett show is done because that one ends So it goes from only May to September because the lake freezes after in the
Jesus.
winter.
So obviously, do you try? How do I say that? It's a seasonal sport, so to speak. So you have to keep following the summer, bit like tennis.
Yeah, you do have to follow the summer, especially if you live somewhere where it snows. But I guess on the Gold Coast, it's something that you can do all year round because it's always hot here.
Yeah, you do. So you then, when you work in SeaWorld, it's 12 months of the year. It's not 6 months on, 6. Ah, that's good.
Yeah, it's all year round.
Because obviously you the shows you've been at is like in Illinois and Wisconsin. That's like up in Chicago way, isn't it? The north of America.
Yeah.
So they do get really, really, really cold weather, don't they? So
yeah,
I don't think
so it's nice doing.
Yeah, go on.
It's nice doing a show that like you don't have to think about like what you're going to do after it. Like I have this job all year now, so it's much better than only half the year.
Yeah. So talk to me an average day for you now. Obviously, you do 2 shows a day. What time do you got to what time's the first show? What time do you have to get up in the morning? What's the like a routine for you?
So we start at 9:30 and then we get in there. We have our morning meeting and then after the morning meeting, we go up and we roll out and stretch for our day. And then after we've done our stretching and exercises, we then go on and do our morning jobs. So for me, I would set the show and set all the ropes and the skis. And then after that, like if there's any other jobs to help out with, then you help out with different jobs. But then at 1:30 is our first show. So we then do our first show at 1:30. And I think our show goes for like 20 to 25 minutes. So then after that, if there's any more, or like after that one, you can then go training. Like you can train new skills if you want to. And then the second show is then at 4:15. And then after that one, you just pack everything up and then head home.
Yeah. So as for training, can you do a lot of training off the water as well? Or is it one of them things you've got to be on the water to get better and better type thing?
You can do like getting fit like off the water to help with your fitness for skiing. But a lot of it's like all different muscles, like things that you would do in the gym. Like I feel like there's not really many things that you can train in the gym that will be like skiing.
No, it's just
because it doesn't matter how many times I went to the gym, I found myself like still being tired after like my first ski back after like winter.
Yeah, it's just repetition after keep doing it, repetition, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've tried doing it once when I was living in Australia actually, and yeah, it was so bad for me. They said, "Oh, do you want to go?" So I was on a lake. I said, "Yeah, not too bad. I'll give it a crack." It looks, you know, just to get pulled by a boat or whatever. It looks easy. I'll be honest, just to look at. But literally, as soon as the boat started going, I thought my shoulders were gonna rip out of my arms. It was horrible. And I just face planted into the water instantly. But,
yeah, it's something you definitely have to get used to and practice.
Yeah. Obviously, you can do all the tricks, but you see people just put it behind their back, and they just make it look so easy. Yeah.
Years of practice, I'm sure they've had the people that make it look easy.
And then obviously you use your one skis and the board, and you can also do it barefoot too, can you? A lot of people can.
Yeah, we do barefoot in our show at SeaWorld as well. We barefoot around the lake, so that's pretty cool.
That hurt your feet? No.
Pardon?
Does it hurt your feet?
No, not really.
No? Like the skimming of the water, or does it just feel nice across? I don't know. I couldn't imagine.
Sometimes when it's like super calm and flat water, it does burn a little, but not too much to the point where I'm like, oh, that hurts.
Yeah. Obviously, now you doing the water skiing. Are you any good at like? You can't really compare it to. Would you be a good like surfer and snow skier, or is it completely different? Would you say? There's kind of balance and all that, isn't it?
I think they're both different, but I guess they both can help. But I haven't really done too much snow skiing or surfing before.
No.
But I'm sure this snow skiing would be pretty similar to water skiing.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it's like the balance, and the skis are they look similar, do they? Kind of like the long things go on your feet.
Yeah, I've done it. I've done it like once before, and I picked it up okay. I was not great at it, but I wasn't. I could definitely do it.
Yeah, a couple of sessions, you'd be flying on it.
I prefer the summer.
Yeah.
I stick to the sun.
Yeah, and I want to talk about as well. Was it how many years back? Was it 2 years? And you had a pretty horrific injury, didn't you, on the water?
Yeah, I did. It's coming up to 3 years
Oh, three
now.
years. Yeah.
I think it was 2018 that
Yeah.
my injury happened.
Do you want to talk about that a bit, how it happened and what you did and stuff?
Yeah, so I was at Bartlett's and I was doing what I usually do, back barefoot circles, and I was training it with a different team, so I could do it in a an amateur ski team, like in their nationals. And I was going backwards, and after the first circle, the driver turned the boat into the buoy, so I then skied into the buoy and sliced my foot open, and then I got taken to the hospital and they put in like about 7 stitches, but it was a pretty large cut. They said the stitches were like, I don't know, it was really big. It was horrifying to see. And then after that, it took me ages to get back into like my skiing, because then I went home from America and I had to have a nerve graft. So they took a nerve from the back of my calf and then put it into my ankle. And then after that, it was another few months before I could do anything again. So I like had to sit at home doing nothing. But then after a bit, I finally got back into swivel skiing because it was on my other leg, so I could swivel fine. But then like other things like barefoot, it took me ages to be able to do that again. And then like front barefoot took me a while, because it like every time it hit the scar, it was just too painful to like even want to do. But then after a few years, like obviously the scar is not as sensitive, but it still hurts. But I'm still able to do these things again because I just push through the pain.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just something that I love so much that I couldn't let like an injury like take away my skiing career.
No, and you're so young too, 23. You've still got so much ahead of you.
Yeah, it does like affect some of my skiing, but I try to push through it and ignore it so that I can still do everything that I wanted to do without the injury.
Yeah. So you know, you said they had to pull a nerve from, what did you say, your Achilles? Was it Achilles?
They took a nerve from my calf.
Or your calf to your Achilles?
To my ankle.
To your ankle.
It was near my Achilles, but it wasn't my Achilles, just in my ankle.
So did that affect? Do you have issues with your calf now with that, or no?
Not with my calf. I do struggle. Like the skiing isn't too bad with it, but it's the running off stage I do struggle with a bit, because I have so much nerve pain or nerve damage that actually when I stand on things, it hurts a lot more than anything else.
Really? Just
so it's like
it's
more sensitive than you would think. You'd think if you had nerve pain, you don't feel anything, but you actually feel a lot more than what you usually would feel.
Yeah.
So if I for example, I sometimes stand on my my phone cord, like to charge my phone charger, and I just will jump because it hurts.
It's that bad, yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is with back to when you had the operation, Dr. Davis, now your foot's one of the longest things to heal, isn't it? Because it's so far from your heart. Did the doctor tell you that?
Oh, I didn't get told that, but it did take a while to heal.
Yeah, they always say your feet. Because funny enough, someone brought it up to me the other day. I've been doing a lot of running recently, and I had really bad blisters on my feet, and they were like cut up pretty bad. And so someone said to me, "Oh, do you know why your feet are taking so long to heal?" And I said, "Well, yeah, because I'm walking on them all the time. Because you're always on your feet, and you." But he goes, "No, it's because it's the furthest point from your heart, so it takes longer to heal." So there's a fun fact for you, Alisha.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
that is a good fact to know.
Maybe that's why it took so long for you to get back on the water.
Yeah.
So obviously once you were in full recovery, did you go back stateside then, or did you stay in Australia or Canada?
I stayed in Australia until May, and then I went back to do another season at Bartlett's again for 2019.
And for the people who don't know, Tommy Bartlett, that's like a massive show, isn't it, in the States?
Yeah, it's a pretty big thing over there. It was like now, I think because of COVID, it's not happening anymore, but it was one of the biggest like water ski shows in the world, which was pretty cool.
Mm. And obviously you went to Dubai and China. Were they just, what type of shows are they in those countries? Were they just random one-off shows, or was that like a yearly thing?
They were just random like week shows.
Mm.
China was usually a competition one. So whenever we'd go to China, it was usually USA, China, and Australia all like competing against each other.
Oh, so it'd be like nationals type thing. So you'd be
It wasn't
representing Australia.
nationals. It was just a random competition that China would always hold and bring America and Australia over to compete against them.
And would Australia win?
No.
No.
No, but we would put up a fight.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you that too. Like, you know, the standards of water skiing, is it like pretty much similar Australia, Canada, New Zealand, America, or would you say USA's got a bit better standards, or Canada? Was it pretty similar?
USA, like whenever we go into a Worlds event, USA are usually the ones to beat. They're usually like they're always like winning, but Australia's putting up a fight, we're hopefully going to beat them like last year, but it didn't happen because of COVID.
Yeah.
Would have put up a fight against them, but yeah, America has so many talented skiers over there that it's just hard to like even not get close, but they just have so much talent over there. Hopefully one day we'll be able to put up a big fight against them and then maybe bring home the gold for Australia.
That's it, yeah. UK don't have a team, do they? Wales, England.
No, you'll have to make one.
It's too cold to get on the water over here. You look at me.
That's true.
I'm ragged up. It's -2 here at the minute in Wales.
Yes, that would be a bit cold for skiing.
Yeah, so unless you could do like an indoor thing, but it's all obviously outdoors, isn't it? You need the room.
Yeah.
Is it always on like lakes, or do you go on the sea as well?
You can definitely ski out in like the sea, but if you're going out in like the ocean, it's obviously going to be pretty rough. So sometimes we go out skiing on the broad water, but I'm not really the biggest fan of skiing in the ocean. I'm very scared of sharks.
Hey, I'm the exact same as you. I won't go in the sea, to be honest, especially Australia. Funny story, actually. When I was I went to Sydney for a weekend with one of my mates, and he loved the sea. So we were down Bondi Beach, and it was boiling hot day, typical Aussie summer. And he said, "Oh, let's go in the water." And I was like, "No, get off. It's full of sharks and stuff." He's like, "Shut up. What's the chances you're going to get bit by a shark?" I said, "No, I'm happy laying on the beach." So I'm laying there. He goes in, and then there's all helicopters around the sea. And he comes in. He goes, "Oh, I wonder what's going on over there." And I said, "Probably a shark attack." He goes, "Oh, shut up." He said, it's probably a tourist bloody, what it's like in Bondi. A lot of tourists get stuck and stuff. So later that evening, then we went to the pub, had a schooner, and it came on the news, Sydney News, shark attack in Bondi Beach that day. So I was
my gosh,
I was like
crazy.
laughing, and I was like, there we are. See, that's why I don't go in the sea. The sharks.
Yeah,
but
they seem to be everywhere.
No, you hear it quite a lot, like especially up in Queensland and WA and stuff. Definitely hear it. Not so much down Victoria, Melbourne.
It's too cold for the sharks down there.
Too cold for them, yeah, I know. So what's the plan in the next, obviously if we didn't have COVID or nothing now, what's like, imagine COVID didn't exist, what's like the next 12-month plan for Alisha Stewart? Is there like, obviously I know you're working in SeaWorld and stuff, but would there be any big competitions you'd be going to or attending?
Yeah, probably will stick at SeaWorld for a bit longer, but I do hope to do the next Worlds tournament because I missed out last year because of COVID. So hopefully I am able to get some time off to go to the one in Florida, which will be in 2022.
Yeah, that'd be
so
sick.
Hopefully that one can go ahead.
for Worlds then, is that like the Olympics, so to speak? Is it like a 4-year thing or every year?
It's every 2
Or 2
years.
years? Yeah.
So I'm not sure when the applications will come out, but hopefully I'll apply and hopefully I'll be able to get on the team for Team Australia and then head over to Florida.
That'd be awesome, yeah. Is there
Yeah.
any people working with you now? Are they involved as well in Australian setup or just yourself?
I think there's a few people I work with that do want to apply for Worlds and head over to compete.
Yeah. And then you have a bit of a holiday over there then, or is it in and out? You're there, do the business and get home.
Oh, it would be nice to have a holiday over there, but I guess it depends if I'm even allowed any time off.
Yeah, I'm sure SeaWorld would accommodate, especially if it was, the world,
Yeah,
the world championship, so to speak.
fingers
But
crossed.
yeah, like I say, fingers crossed, COVID pisses off because it's not looking too good at the minute, is it? I know
No.
Melbourne's gone back into a lockdown, haven't they?
Yep, they've gone back into. Not sure how long it is, but I think they're going for 5 days in the lockdown and then seeing how it's going.
Yeah, yeah. And obviously up with you, it's all good so far, Gold Coast.
Yeah, Gold Coast have had it pretty easy with COVID. Lockdown happened at the start, but then everything started opening pretty much a couple weeks or a month later or so.
Yeah. When people are obviously watching you perform, is it full crowds watching you and stuff?
At SeaWorld?
Yeah, at SeaWorld, yeah.
Well, because of COVID, it's hard to get like the international travelers over here, so it has been pretty quiet there.
Yeah.
But on weekend days, it's usually busy. But the weekdays have been a bit like not many people in the crowd.
Yeah.
When it was school holidays, though, most shows were like packed.
Packed out. All in their masks or don't have to wear masks?
No, we don't wear masks here in Gold Coast.
No, lucky. That's awesome.
Yeah, I haven't worn a mask once.
Haven't you?
No, haven't had to.
Oh, it's crazy of you. We get like everywhere we go, you got to have a mask on, literally. I know
So
some
crazy.
my mates live when he lives in Dubai, and not so much now, but at the start or in the middle of it, like even go for a run, like outside, no one around you. If you're not wearing a mask, you get fined. Can you imagine going for a run with a mask on and in Dubai?
Yeah. Oh, it'd be all sweaty and
Sweaty,
gross.
it'd be the humidity, not the humidity, the dry heat, I should say, because it's a desert, isn't it? But
Yeah.
no, I just hope everything gets back to normal and we can start doing we can get back to live sports and live sports shows and stuff,
Yeah, and traveling back overseas. My boyfriend lives in America, so I'm hoping that he can get out here soon because he got offered a job at SeaWorld, but they're struggling to get him over here because of COVID. So
Yeah,
my fingers
right.
are crossed that maybe soon he can get here.
Is he? I thought he was over there with you, man. I thought he was in Australia. I know
Nah,
you.
he's still in America.
And he's a skier too.
He is a skier.
Yeah. You met him obviously in competitions and stuff.
We worked together at the Tommy Bartlett show. So
Yeah.
we met there.
Yeah. So would you obviously when you compete in tournaments, is it obviously would you only be in a female category or would it be you'd be against males as well?
It depends like what you're competing in. If you're competing in swivel, I've only ever competed against women, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I'm not sure if there's any guys that do the swivel skiing,
Yeah.
but yeah, so it's just girls. But like if you're to do the doubles comp, that's where you're like getting lifted by another guy. So that would be girl and guy.
So does your boyfriend do it with you when you do doubles comp?
Yes, we've done a doubles comp together. It was super fun.
Yeah.
Something that I have never done before. First time doing a doubles comp.
I was gonna say, you imagine you were going against him. That would be a bit strange, would it?
Yeah, that would be funny.
Yeah.
Maybe like I think that you compete against guys if you're doing the jump comp.
The jump. So what's that like? Doing flips off ramps and stuff?
Yeah, so it's when the boat's towing you on 2 skis and you're going over a 6-foot ramp, and you try and do like gainers and front flips and helis.
You must have had some nasty falls doing that, have you? Or you've been pretty touch wood. I don't want
Yeah,
to jinx you, but yeah.
some pretty crazy falls, but you always just get back up and do it again.
Yeah. I think it'd wreck. You know, if you just sometimes fall and you land in your belly and you belly flop, they call it, don't they? I used to
Yeah.
do it all the time and have a big red mark on my belly end. So I can imagine going at speed, getting pulled by a boat. It'd be pretty horrific for
Yeah.
me, I think.
You can definitely have some pretty crazy stacks, but you just keep trying and then you eventually get the trick that you want to land.
You want to do it. And even when I've seen like when I was looking I'll start again. When I was about to have you on the show, I went on YouTube and I obviously looked at some of your videos and stuff you've done. And you do some like obviously say the doubles competitions. You get like lifted up and everything, don't you?
Yeah, it's
Like
pretty good for me. I don't really have
yeah,
to do too much. I just let Brandon lift me up the whole time.
yeah. It's a form of gymnastics too. You know, it's not just be able to ski. It's having balance and be able to do the splits and putting your legs in all these places whilst going at a speed. How fast would you be going on the water roughly?
Oh,
It's hard to say.
I don't even know how fast we go for doubles,
Yeah.
but it wouldn't be like ridiculously fast.
Still though, I don't think many people could do it just standing on solid ground. You know, getting thrown about. Like
Yeah,
but
it's so much trust that you have in your partner. You both just have to really work together to be able to like do the lifts.
So when you do that, obviously you're practicing mainly on land first, yeah, and then you go on the water.
Yeah, we practiced on land, and we had when we were working at Bartlett's, we had two amazing double teams, doubles partners, Kathy and Jerry Lighting, who taught us like everything. They were so helpful. They're like amazing. Like when they do doubles, it's like he's just throwing her around, and they were so kind to teach us how they do it.
Yeah, no, it's good. You're learning off like people like that, you know, and obviously it's making you a better skier as well, then, isn't it?
Yeah, it makes it so much easier when you have people telling you what works and the tricks that they do to make, like the tips that they give you to make things like easier rather than just going out there and like trying to figure it out yourself. It's awesome to have people come and teach you
some tricks. Obviously, with your resume you've got, are you teaching any kids yourself or any up and comers?
I've done some swivel clinics where I've taught quite a few people how to swivel ski. I don't actually have like a certain person that I'm teaching right now, but yeah, I hope to be able to do some more swivel clinics though, because I do love teaching people swivel. I never really had like many people giving me tips about like my swivel ski. I feel like I had to learn from like YouTube. So I know what it feels like not to have like some like tips from girls on what to do. So I feel like it's nice for me to be able to help girls that are having that problem too.
Yeah, like you say, if you've done it the hard way, so you want to pass it on and make it easier for the younger generation, so to speak, isn't it?
I want to watch like how good the younger generation can be, because like the sport's just getting better and like everyone's just getting so much better at like everything. So it's going to be cool to see what it's going to be like in like a few years' time.
Yeah. Do you reckon it could hit the Olympics or something like that in the future? Or is it, do Olympics have
I
water
don't know.
sports? Yeah, it does have water sports, doesn't it? Yeah.
I think the Olympics has cable, like wakeboarding.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they have towed sports. I don't think they're allowed motorized things in the Olympics.
Ah, right. I didn't know that. Yeah.
I think, but I'm not sure if it will ever hit Olympics because of that.
I think you might be right there, because the more I think of it now, yeah, you don't really. Yeah, that's an interesting fact. Yeah.
Yeah, but the ski show world just thinks of like the world tournament as Olympics.
Yeah.
That's like our Olympics.
Yeah. And I say you get the opportunity to go around the world, and
the
countries you've been to already is pretty impressive. And all, is it all do you have to pay your way, or is it all funded by?
We try and raise some money for the team, but you do have to pay like a lot yourself.
Yeah. But obviously you don't mind paying to enter those competitions.
Yeah, it's definitely something very fun to do. And it's like awesome to watch all the different teams, different countries doing different things. Like it makes you motivated to go and try new things when you watch that comp.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, that's awesome, Alisha. Listen, I appreciate you coming on and giving me. Well, we've done over half hour. It goes quite quick, doesn't it?
It
I
does.
appreciate you coming on, giving up your Saturday afternoon to have a bit of a chat to me about your profession. Before I let you
Thanks
go,
so much for having me on.
yes, no worries. Before I let you go, though, do you want to give anyone a shout out or where people can find you on social media and all that type of stuff?
Yeah, on my social media, my Instagram page is Alisha_8, which is ALISHA_8. And that's where I post like most of my skiing videos.
Awesome. And if you want to see Alisha in action, get up to the Gold Coast in
Come watch
Queensland,
me at SeaWorld.
in Australia. She's what days are you there again?
What is it? Sunday to Thursday.
Sunday to Thursday. Get down there, guys, because that's the place to be now. No COVID in Gold Coast.
No masks up here.
Awesome, Alisha. Alisha Stewart, everybody. Ew.